folks. Under 7 minutes to play and a field goal separating the Eskimos and Argos. Clements drops the ball. Pinball shakes a couple tackles and now is ridden out at the Eskimo bench, and a marker is down. And this has been a penalty-free game for the most part.
And Chris, you talk about only a field goal separating the two teams.
Yeah, we're in a situation where had Fleming made his 3 field goals, Edmonton's sitting on a 6-point lead right here. So Vanderjagt had done a great job.
Toronto number 50. First down.
As you see now, Toronto's going to start in the hole offensively. Vanderjagt has done a great job of putting the ball through the field, through the uprights for Toronto. Fleming has struggled.
Great drive, David.
It was a tremendous drive. In my opinion, it was the best drive of the game because Danny McManus got everybody on his team involved. Blunt caught a pass, ran for a touchdown. He went 6 for 6 in the drive for 65 yards. Got Eddie Brown the ball twice, Darren Flutie.
And the key was, David, as any quarterback likes to do, you spread it around to all your receivers.
And now the fans, pro Edmonton, are exhorting the defense. Flutie, pressure on, dumps it off, and away goes Drummond. Well, the big horse out of the backfield once again.
And Ken Austin alluded to it. Robert Drummond is getting stronger and stronger as this game goes on. Doug Flutie is doing everything that he can right now to get the ball in Robert Drummond's hands.
As a quarterback, as the game goes on, especially in the dying moments, you start to find the guys that are making plays for you, and you feed them with the football. And that's exactly what Doug's doing with Robert Drummond.
And we're seeing a classic example of Flutie ball.
14 yards on that catch by Drummond. He has 6 for 78, while Mazzotti paces on the sidelines with a Charlie horse, and Flutie calls timeout. Doug Flutie using his timeout.
Chris, it looked like the crowd gave him a problem. This crowd has really jumped on the back of the Edmonton Eskimos.
Don Matthews was telling us last week, Doug Flutie tried to make up a play at the line of scrimmage, ran out of time, had to use a timeout, and here with 5:48 to go, they burned their timeout.
It looked like he wanted to change the play, but the crowd gave him a problem.
And there's no doubt there are Argo fans here, but it's a pro-Edmonton crowd. 1st and 10. Flutie pulls it down, and down he goes at the 43-yard line. Gain of close to 9 for Doug Flutie. Well, there's Doug Flutie, one of his biggest fans. Ron Lancaster, a great admirer of number 2 of the Argos.
Well, how can you not admire Doug Flutie? I mean, such imagination and creativity when he's out on the field. Not only does he execute the plays, but last week we watched him late in the game with Dwayne Demetrician on the sideline diagramming plays with about 4 minutes to go in the game. Demetrician was about to get his first action, but Doug Flutie wanted to make sure that his young receiver knew what he was doing once he got in the lineup.
2nd and a yard. Robert Drummond nailed and pushed back. I don't think he got there.
Willie Pless, defensive MVP 4 times. That's how you play defense. You put your head up in the hole and you drive them back.
And that's why some feel that Willie Pless is the Doug Flutie of CFL defensive players. And he is now the all-time leading tackler in Grey Cup play.
Well, Willie Pless left college at Kansas State being the Big 8's all-time leading tackler. He is also the CFL's all-time leading tackler. And Robert Drummond is down on the play after that hit by Willie Pless.
Willie Pless with 6 tackles on the day. And they're not going to be able to measure until Drummond gets attention.
But you talk about textbook filling the hole. That's Willie Pless. There hasn't been a better tackler in the history of the CFL.
There's Chris Perez. He's from Willie Pless's school, and he was telling me the other day that the coach at Kansas would bring Pless back just as an inspiration to the collegians. He trained with them in the offseason. Willie Pless is a legend at Kansas, and Chris Perez says it's just an honor to be on the same football field as Willie Pless. Well, we've got a timeout. Drummond getting attention. A measurement forthcoming. 4:57 to play in a terrific 84th Grey Cup game.
This is the fans' favorite. The games you wanted to see again. The Grey Cup Classics on...
Got the first down at the 45. Argos with the ball and a 3-point lead. 4:37 to go. The shovel toss inside. J.P. Izquierdo taken down. And a flag as well, and it looks like a face mask call is going against the Eskimos.
Willie Pless is going to be called for a face mask.
Major foul. Face mask. Edmonton number 39. First down.
But that was not a face mask on the play. Willie Pless grabbed the back and the side of the helmet. That you should not get a flag. You'll get a look right here as Pless comes around. He has the back of Izquierdo's helmet. That is not a face mask because as he turned, he let it go. He got flagged for it, though.
J.P. Izquierdo into the game in place of Drummond. Won a Grey Cup with Edmonton in '93 and with the Argos in '91. And with that penalty of 15 yards, it's now down to the Edmonton 48. Flutie pulled it back and now goes outside, and it's Izquierdo. J.P. Izquierdo with another big first down.
Some concern on Ronnie Lancaster. And I'll tell you how important a penalty of that magnitude can be. If you recall last week on a punt, when there was a Calgary player caught in that no-yard zone and it gave Edmonton great field position for that game-winning field goal, that penalty gave Toronto great field position to keep this drive going with another first down.
I'll tell you what, you have to applaud Izquierdo. He comes in from the sideline, probably just been playing special teams all day. Comes in, is taking care of the ball on a run and a catch.
3.5 minutes to play. First down Toronto. And a 3-point lead. Flutie on the run again. And slides feet first inside the 25.
I think that goes back to a point, Dave, when you talk about Izquierdo coming in, protecting the ball. We're going to get Drummond back in the game. But that's the Don Matthews preparation for players. When you have an opportunity, it behooves you to make the best of it. And Don Matthews preaches that with his players.
And Don had talked about building this team on veterans, and he enjoys having veterans around him because they make those kind of decisions. Sometimes he doesn't need to tell people that. They go out and do the job because they've played the game so long.
Gain of 8 for Flutie, who has 90 yards rushing on the day. 2nd and 2. There's Drummond. And off the left side, he'll be close. Malvin Hunter with the tackle.
But it was Willie Pless shooting the gap. Once again, just a stride away from bringing Robert Drummond down behind the line of scrimmage. They may have to measure this one.
Don Matthews anxious to find out if they've moved the sticks or not. The 3-point lead and the 3-minute warning. Edmonton Eskimos did not allow a touchdown last week against Calgary. Now they're digging in. It's 3rd and less than a yard for the Argos. Benny Goods and company trying to force the Argos into a field goal situation here. Vanderjagt awaits.
You know, you think about Mike Vanderjagt, the fine season that he's had this year. 198 points on the regular season, the 4th highest in Argo history by a kicker. And that's what it's all about there, the Holy Grail, the Grey Cup, the 1996 edition, the 84th time it will be handed out.
Just want to acknowledge the work of our spotter, Art Darch, who has his name on the cup. Member of the 52 team. Check that 53, and I even checked for your name, Art.
He just spotted it on the trophy. That's why he could tell you that.
He's the only guy on the team that year that they don't have the first initial. It's just Darch.
Everyone knew what it meant.
3rd and less than a yard. Flutie will keep. Not much there. Ball popped loose.
I don't know if he got it, Chris. This is all going to depend on the spot. But you talk about a defensive surge. The Edmonton Eskimos came across that line of scrimmage with authority, and really reestablish the line of scrimmage, this is going to be also important on the measurement.
And Ronnie Lancaster out on the field, incensed.
I think this play was blown dead way too soon. Flutie dives in, and he's laying on top of bodies, and all of a sudden the ball's jarred loose, and I think Ron's got a complaint.
I'm curious about the spot, too, because there was really no movement.
Well, I tell you, that Edmonton defensive unit did a great job of coming across the ball, and if he gets the first down, it's from the generosity of the spot.
Wow.
You know, he may never have had control of the football. This would be a great shot if we can get a replay of it, because Doug Flutie lost that ball. As David said, they blew the whistle too soon on the play, and Ronnie Lancaster is incensed.
Well, you know it's a bad call because you never see Ron Lancaster reacting like that. First down, though. Argos continue the march. Following Vic Stevenson, Flutie is nailed at the 20-yard line. And maybe a couple on the play.
And we get a replay of it here. Watch as Doug Flutie never really has possession of the football. The ball is out clearly at the snap. The officials blow the ball dead on the play, and Doug Flutie never gained possession. That should be an Edmonton Eskimos football. You know, this has been a great played football game, and it would be a shame to see the Edmonton Eskimos lose on a play like that when Doug Flutie clearly did not have possession of the football.
No turnovers in the game, but there should be one. Now second down and 6. Drummond can't hang on, and it brings up third down with 1:38 to play.
And Chris, I want to take you back to a moment. The 1994 Grey Cup. Danny McManus to Ray Alexander. A questionable catch that Ray Alexander made on a pass from Danny McManus that he may not have had possession of, but kept the drive alive for the BC Lions, and Louis Pasaglia had an opportunity to kick the game-winning field goal off of that.
Well, the Argos have to settle now for a field goal attempt.
Now, Sean Fleming has missed 3. If you recall, David, you talked about it being the most important factor of this game. It would be a much different game if he had made those.
Oh, there's no question about that. But Edmonton's defense did what they needed to do. Once they got in that territory, they held them to 3.
This appears to be from 27 yards out. And Vanderjagt has made another 5 on the day for Mike Vanderjagt. And Don Matthews and the Argos have a 6-point lead.
Well, Ron Lancaster has a decision here. He can go with the kickoff, or he can take the ball at the 35, and Ron decided to put the ball in the hands of the guy that's made so many plays for him down through the years, and that's Gizmo Williams.
And Ronnie was having to be restrained on the sideline by Larry Ruck. Larry Ruck was restraining him. Ronnie was going nuts on the officials because he saw that ball clearly come out when Doug Flutie was taking the snap, and he was incensed, and he is still infuriated on the sideline. He has a valid reason to be, because if you take your team all this way and you lose on a bad call like that by the officials, you hate for the Zebras to control the football game, but that's one that they clearly blew.
And what it means is Lancaster's team needs a touchdown and not a field goal. Had that fumble stood, as the ball is covered by Errol Martin, had the fumble stood for Edmonton, they'd only need a field goal to tie. Now they need a touchdown to win it.
Not only would they have just needed a field goal, but it would have been a great momentum swing.
Been a great momentum swing. They'd had great field position. You know, Jake Ireland's in perfect position to make that call. He's standing right behind the quarterback. That's really a tough one to miss.
And his only job on that play, Jake Ireland, is to watch the quarterback. His job is to protect the quarterback, so he should clearly see the quarterback when the ball comes out on the snap that he never had possession of it.
Now they have to refocus, though. The ball just nudging the Edmonton 40, 1:33 to go. And Danny McManus, who was perfect on the last drive, 6 for 6, goes to work, delivering, picked off. Adrian Smith is going to score. Touchdown, Argonauts. talked about interceptions, and isn't it ironic after playing near perfect football, an interception would come back to haunt Danny McManus again.
Well, I had mentioned right as the fourth quarter began, we talked about how cleanly the game had been played. There'd been no turnovers, even in the weather condition. But I thought that a turnover was going to determine who would win this ball game. It looked like Edmonton had that turnover. All of a sudden, the next play, we turn around and hear Smith running for a touchdown.
And coming into this game, it was the Edmonton defense that had gotten all the accolades for their success during the year. But this Toronto defense actually had 3 more turnovers than the Edmonton defense on the regular season. And as you spoke about, it's a turnover that's the decisive factor in the 84th Grey Cup.
Adrian Smith had a touchdown on an interception here Labor Day. He's a former Tiger Cat. And once again, he has come up with a big pick, and it's about a minute 22 away from the Argos claiming the ultimate prize in Canadian football.
I'll tell you, this is the beauty of the Canadian Football League now. They're down. Here's Danny McManus is going to throw just a curl route in the zone. The ball bounces right off Darren's chest as he's trying to slide on his back to make the catch, and Adrian Smith scores. But the beauty of the Canadian Football League is you're never out of it. I played in a game against BC 3 years ago where we were down by 13 points with 49 seconds left on the clock, and we won the ball game. So this game is not over by any stretch. They score, you can get an onside kick and score because the clock stops with every play.
And we have seen the Gizmo take one back all the way, but this has been a marvelous game offensively and special team-wise by both teams tonight.
Goods rumbling with the football, and he's upended at the 41-yard line. Now this is tough for McManus, who talked about the 2 previous meetings with Toronto. He lamented an interception in the first game that snuffed out a first-half scoring drive, and they lost by a field goal. And in the second meeting between these 2 teams, it was 24-17 late in the game, and he threw an interception to Mike O'Shea. And now Doug Flutie is just that close from winning his second Grey Cup.
Well, you know, it's been a marvelous game by both quarterbacks tonight, Doug Flutie and Danny McManus. Danny McManus with well over 300 yards passing. McManus
outlets to Blunt, and Blunt upended by Donnie Wilson at the 45. Paul Mazzotti in pain, but it'll be cushioned in about a minute and 11 when the celebration begins, barring an Archer-like comeback.
And he's one of the 5 holdovers from that 1991 Grey Cup Argonaut victory.
Blunt can't hang on, and it's 3rd down now, Edmonton.
See, these are the things that they're trying to, they're playing a deep zone, which you expect in this situation. They're up 2 scores. They're going to show a zone. He needs to dump the football off. That's the only throw he's getting, and the guys have to make the plays for him. That ball's thrown. Blunt's got to make that catch and get him the first down. The important thing here for Danny is to get him in the end zone, to give him a chance to get an onside kick.
But they have to pick up the first down right here.
Well, it's all down to this for Edmonton. 3rd and 5, and McManus will keep it alive.
McManus to Darren Flutie.
Darren Flutie the catch. He's down at the Argo 45-yard line.
And I tell you right now, for Toronto, they're happy to give up the first down. It really doesn't bother them. Right now, they're still a little overjoyous about the celebration that will be taking place in about 58 seconds. They will bend, but they will not break. They'll let Danny McManus take all that stuff underneath because they're concerned about joy of celebrating and sipping from the cup.
Well, I might be overly optimistic, but this game is not over by a long stretch. With McManus with the ball in his hands, he's made too many things happen late in ball games, especially in the postseason.
What we have seen is an advertisement of why the league should continue. Here's Darren Flutie down again.
You know, that's something special about this game that you don't get in any other championship game. You get 60 minutes of excitement.
First down. And McManus over the middle. Mark Tobert with Mike O'Shea draped all over him.
And I keep watching David over here tell him to hurry up. They're taking too much time between plays.
Well, Danny's got to get the plays called so he doesn't lose any time on the clock. He did a great job of managing the clock in the first half to give him a chance to score late. He needs to do the same here.
Needs 2 major scores, 43-30. Has to look deeper. Does Sandusky? Is it a catch? No. It hit the turf. You saw the snow fly as Sandusky tried to scoop it off the snow.
But just a great effort by Jim Sandusky. That's the thing that you get in a game of this magnitude. You get 60 minutes of effort. Jim Sandusky trying to slow down, engage himself for that football. Got one hand on it, but you could clearly see where it met the snow.
36 seconds on the clock. Tony Burse didn't surprise the Argos with that call.
Well, they needed to pick up the yard to get the first down, but they only have 31 seconds to operate with.
Well, he needs to throw the football. He's going to have to start trying to hit the seam, just like he did there to Sandusky. He was just a little inaccurate with the football, and Jim couldn't adjust to it.
Ron Lancaster has called timeout with 31 seconds to play. And he'll be thinking about the missed call, the fumble that should have been, for a long time.
But now for the second time in the last 3 Grey Cups, it's been a play of that magnitude that has had a huge decision in the outcome of the game. But Don Matthews has a marvelously coached football team that is executed in every facet, and special teams showed up big today.
High snap pulled down by McManus, who has good protection and looks into the end zone. Jump ball incomplete. As Johnny Harris went up for it against Don Blair. .22 seconds on the clock. Well, Michael O'Shea signed with the Argos, felt this was his best shot at a Grey Cup, and touch of irony, at his old locker back. The Argos in the Hamilton dressing room this week. Remember when Edmonton won in '93? They were in Calgary's dressing room. Arch rivals. Here's McManus on second down. Over the middle, Tolbert makes the catch at the 6-yard line. 21 seconds left.
Well, they just lost 3 seconds off of the clock. The clock is supposed to stop with the dead play. There were 23 seconds left when he went down when Tolbert went down with the reception. They need to get that clock adjusted. Danny needs every second he can get.
Seeing a little Southern Ontario bias here by the clock timekeeper.
Not in Hamilton if it favored the Argos.
This is a great finish to this game. Danny McManus once again marching his team back down the field. David said he had the best drive of the game late in the third, beginning of the fourth quarter, when he marched 74 yards for a touchdown. Seems he'll get one more chance to pump it in for 6.
Well, he deserves a salute today, Danny McManus. 24 of 36, 406 yards. Couple of touchdown passes.
And one unfortunate mistake that he'll be labeled with on a tip deflected ball that went off of Darren Flutie into the hands of Adrian Smith for an interception return for a touchdown.
The officials conferring. Not sure whether they're trying to determine how many seconds could be added on. Mike Kiselak,
20 seconds left.
David Archer's center a year ago.
Well, you know, this is what it's all about, Chris. I mean, all the emotion, all the jubilation, the months of preparing, David, when players come in into a game of this magnitude, and all you want to do is walk out victorious. It doesn't matter what the final score is. You just want to have a chance to sip from the cup.
Yeah, the money will be gone in no time, but you'll always have the ring, and you'll have the camaraderie of the teammates that you won a championship with, and those are the things you hang on forever.
The memories of it, I mean, it's never ending.
Here's McManus looking to the end zone, and incomplete. Eddie Brown was his target.
Well, Adrian Smith is celebrating there, but the ball was thrown behind Eddie Brown, and so Eddie had no chance to make the play. Adrian really didn't do much there, but Danny's still trying to stick it in the end zone. You got to love this guy's heart, still fighting to try to make something happen.
You know, we saw the Grey Cup go by moments ago, and you think about all the names that are inscribed on that Grey Cup, the players who have received rings, and even before they were handing out rings to players. That's the one lasting memory that you'll always have from your professional career.
Second down. McManus into the end zone. Tolbert, touchdown. So it's not done yet. 9 seconds left.
And what a marvelous drive crafted by Danny McManus. All the poise and concentration to guide his team back down the field after throwing that devastating interception to Adrian Smith, but to have the poise and the frame of mind to not be rattled and come back and get his team into the end zone once again for 6.
University of Alberta product into the end zone. Sean Fleming adds the extra point, 43-37, and there's Doug Flutie's wife anxious now because she knows there'll be a short kickoff before this is over.
And I want to go back to a point that David was making earlier. 1993, Sean Fleming, the hero of the 93 Grey Cup. He was 6 for 7 in that game. Tonight, he has missed 3. The difference in the game is 6 points. That's 9 points that Edmonton did not get on the scoreboard.
Let's see if they can execute this short kick as the Esks stack this side of the field. It's up for grabs. On the turf, Argos have it, and a flag down.
Now, I'm interested in the call here. I think what they're going to call on the Eskimos is interference, because you can't call no yards on the kickoff because it's a live ball, so it's very difficult. They're going to hit Tony Burch. You see several Argonauts going after him. But, you know, this is something you don't need to have any nitpicking. The game is in hand if you're the Argos and you've recovered the football. Just take it and down it and celebrate your championship.
Argos last winners in 1991. Doug Flutie's ready to decline the penalties.
And I think the myth will be dispelled about Doug Flutie not being able to play in cold weather. Mike Vanderjet celebrating.
Edmonton number 34, decline, first down.
Chris, I want to make this point. Doug Flutie has averaged 33.7 points a game in the playoffs and Grey Cups. And you think about it tonight, there's 43 on the board for Toronto. The problem has been is that his defense has not been able to stop the opposing teams from outscoring his offense. But Doug Flutie will celebrate his 2nd championship tonight.
Well, one point I would like to make, and I concur with you, James, on that, but I would like to say that Doug's had a tremendous amount of help today. He didn't win this by himself. And in my opinion, Robert Drummond is your MVP of this ballgame.
Robert Drummond has played a marvelous game for Toronto tonight in all facets. You talk about, Dave, he's receiving out of the backfield, but more important, controlling the game's tempo in running with the football.
He allowed Doug to do so many things, get out of the pocket, dump the football to him, so much going on. Pinball Clemens has really been the heart and soul of this team. A little guy, but they all gathered around him before the game. He gets them jacked up. He's a great guy. I mean, a Tom Pate Award winner this year.
This was a 4-14 team last year, 15-3. Double blue and Grey Cup champions in 1996. Doug Flutie and the Toronto Argonauts.